Good morning and a very happy new year to you. How are you getting on? How's things going for you so far? How are the New Year's resolutions? It's something that I don't fully buy into. Actually, let me explain. I've literally just walked out of the gym. So I've been this morning, had the car washed, went for a swim, went to the gym, and I'm just sat in the gym car park at the moment. Now, I'm not saying that to for any reason other than to explain what I'm about to talk about now, and that is today the gym is packed. Today, the gym, which is normally reasonably quiet on a Saturday morning at around this time, is absolutely packed out. And why is that? You know the answer. It's New Year's. Everybody's made their New Year's resolutions, and they've decided that they're going to look after their health and their fitness, and this year is going to be the year that they crack it. And by next week, or certainly the week after, it will have gone quiet again. It will have dropped back to normal levels. Why is that? The very same thing will be happening in business, by the way. I'll tell you exactly the very same thing. People will be telling themselves, this year's the year I'm going to do X, Y, Z. They will be setting great big goals, great big ambitions, great big resolutions for the new year. And within a couple of weeks of putting these things to the test, they will pull back from them. Life will get in the way. They will decide that it was too big for them, and they'll pull back and they'll slow down and they'll stop. So I'm not a great big believer in New Year's resolutions for that reason, because people put this picture out of what they want without any plan behind how they're going to actually achieve it. So what I am a believer in is in setting goals. Now, for me, a goal is something that you set that is attainable, something that you know is achievable, but still needs a little bit of a push. So rather than a resolution, and I'll give you an example. Somebody will set a resolution to say, I don't know, let's say that they're going to give up smoking, right? They're never going to smoke again. That will be their resolution. But they've got no plan behind how they're actually going to stop smoking. They don't plan to replace the habit with a new habit. They don't plan to have interventions when they feel like having a smoke. They don't put anything in place to prevent them from smoking. They just have this great idea, this great plan that their New Year's resolution, I'm going to stop smoking. And then, of course, they get a craving for a cigarette. They don't know how to handle that craving because they've got nothing in place to handle it. And then they end up having a cigarette. They have the cigarette, and then they believe, right, that's it, I failed, it's no good, so I won't bother trying again. And then they're back, they are smokers again, okay? Very same thing happens in business. Somebody will set a great big ambitious goal for their business, and then when they realize that they can't follow through on that great big ambitious goal because they haven't had a plan in place to do what it is they set out to achieve, they believe that they've failed. Now, the downside of that is you end up feeling like you are a failure. And when you feel like you are a failure, it prevents you from trying other things, trying new things. And those of you who've worked with me in the toolbox will know about things like, leaflet marketing or leaflet advertising. People try it, it doesn't work for them, so they stop trying and they never try it again because they believe it's not a good process, or they believe they failed at doing that. So they don't do it again. So my belief is that you set goals, not New Year's resolutions, and your goals should be manageable. They should be something that you know that you need to push yourself, but you also know that you can achieve it. And the beautiful thing about the way I like setting goals is that no matter how big or audacious a goal is, you can break your goal down into 3 sections. And this is something that I've been doing. It's what I call the power of 3. And it's something that I've been doing for years and I've talked about for years, whether it's been on training programs or in private coaching sessions. And that is, no matter how big or what it is that you want to achieve in your life, in your business, if you break it down into 3 chunks, you will find that that goal will be much more manageable. And here's the smart thing about that is that those 3 chunks can be broken down into a further 3 chunks until you know that it is manageable. So rather than looking at one great big goal, rather than looking at one great big task that you want to achieve, you know that, okay, that how do I get to that? We'll break it down into 3 different sections. And then you look at that and you think, even one of those 3 is too big. We'll break that down into 3 sections until you find something that you can actually do. And that could be as big as, I don't know, let's say, or as small as, let's say, writing a blog post, okay? Somebody goes, I don't know how to write a blog post. I don't know what to do. Well, what do you need for a blog post? You need a number of paragraphs of text about a particular topic. So what do? I want to break it down into 3. What do I need to do? Well, the 3 I'll break it down into is I'll figure out, number 1, what topic do I want to write on? Number 2, I'll do some research on that topic. And number 3, I'll start writing. And okay, so start writing, what does that mean? That's quite chunky, isn't it? Well, what do I do? I've got to write a couple of paragraphs. So I can break that down into 3. What do I want to do? I want to break it into what paragraphs am I going to have? So let's see, what titles are the paragraphs going to be? That's one part. Right, what research do I need to write those paragraphs? That's the next part. So anything you want to do, you can break it down into 3 manageable chunks. And if you look at those 3 chunks again and you go, that's still a bit too big, break it down again. And you just reverse engineer something until you have little chunks that you can actually do. And then like Lego, you just build on that. You do chunk 1, chunk 2, chunk 3. Suddenly you've got a task achieved. You've got a task completed. You've got something done. So that's how I like to handle dealing with goals, rather than talking about or looking at New Year's resolutions. I wish you well if you have set yourself a New Year's resolution. I hope that you do achieve it. Many of you will know already, I run a training program, a membership program called My Electricians Toolbox. I know that many of you will be aware of it. That's why you're on this page. My hope is that you will at least take a look at that over the course of the coming months and see how it may help you in your business. I do a number of different free events throughout the course of the year, so you can keep your eyes open for that. Our next one is the 5-day challenge that we are running. That's an online challenge, so you can do it from the comfort of your own home. You can register for that by going to jdewan.com/challenge, or have a look for the link. It'll be somewhere around this page. But also I run a number of events up and down the country. So I will, during the course of the year, we will announce them several weeks in advance, but we run 1-day training courses free to show people what the possibilities are when you learn how to market your business properly, instead of giving your money away to these lead generating businesses that promise you the sun, moon and stars, and then deliver you the same 5 leaves that they're delivering to other people. And then you end up competing on price and in that race to the bottom. So my hope is that by being here with you guys, answering your questions, showing you what's possible, that you'll take a look at what we do inside of the toolbox. So until next week, I will catch up with you guys. Got any questions? Pop them in below. Cheers.